Now, you all know that I frequent restaurants quite often because I don't cook. I don't have time to cook. And one day, I frequented a restaurant and ordered a milkshake. I don't know why I was craving it, but I was. I informed the server that I had a peanut allergy. And to my surprise, she brought me my strawberry milkshake, and then my throat started to close up. Why? Turns out they used the same blender to make my strawberry shake that they had made a peanut butter shake on before they made my shake. Of course, I had a severe allergic reaction. At the time, I was uninsured, still uninsured, and I couldn't afford to pursue a lawsuit at all. I ain't got it. I knew that I needed to do something, and I had to think fast. Had I would have known about Morgan & Morgan, I would have been the first person on their website. I could have went to their website and found out that they had reformed the injury law process. You can check them out at forthepeople.com or press pound 529.
Wonder why the hell so many people are trying to tell me to slow down. Seems like motherfuckers should be shutting the hell up and enjoying the show.
But let me, so when you say you know, because I'm looking at a lot of the notes that, you know, I have, you know, regarding, you know, the situationship, because like I said, there's been so many rumors out there, like you're Lori Harvey's dad, and you know, she was this big time drug kingpin, and you know, you took and did time for her to save her ass, and that's the reason why she's out now, you know, and did not, you know, get indicted at all. So what happened with that?
With what?
With her indictment, like, did you just?
Well, they did indict her because, you know, I made a deal with them not to indict. You got to be mindful. At this particular time that I was got busted, if you want to call it get busted.
Okay.
They showed me, you know, drug transactions between Marjorie and people that I knew they weren't lying. That people that, you know, she had sold drugs to and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, she 8 months pregnant. We got a 5-year-old daughter, so there was no way whatever I could do to keep her from going to prison or being indicted. And see, I know how those feds play it, and that was the right move because they would have railroaded her. Just
they
like
would have railroaded her just for.
Oh, she would have. Oh, yeah, because they had people gonna step up, and you know.
And testify against
her.
her.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm reading it, so I'm saying I know they ain't lying because they got the people's name, Mark, and all that I know she had turned those deals with.
What was she gonna be facing, like if she were to be indicted?
Well, but I guess by her not having a record and all like that, it's just like they did my co-defendant Hazel Little.
Yeah.
Hazel did 5 years.
Okay.
She did 5 years and wasn't even in the drug game. And I always tell everybody, Hazel did Marjorie's time, you know, because Hazel was not a drug dealer. She just got caught up at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Okay.
So, but anyway, so yeah, you know what he's saying?
No. I was just asking, like, why didn't she get indicted? So
yeah, because that's what it was. I made a deal with them.
Do you regret doing that deal?
No, I tell everybody, if I had to do it all over again, honestly, I would do it again because she was, like I said, we had a 5-year-old daughter and she was 8 months pregnant with my son. So no, there was no way I was gonna let her go to prison. You know, both parents in prison. You see, no.
But when you went in, she still continued with her husband, Morgan. No, yeah, not Morgan. Yes, with Morgan. It was just so many men. Darnell. It was so many men. Like, I'm just like, damn, Marjorie. Damn.
No, she, like I said, I don't know Darnell. If he walked up right now and smacked me, I wouldn't know him. Mm-hmm. I would know him now because I've seen pictures of him on the internet and all like that. But no, I didn't know him. In fact, Darnell was hooked up with, his name is Darnell Woods. And Darnell Woods was hooked up with Ronnie Woods and Steve Woods and all them. You know, they had came up through me, but they had moved out on their own. You know, they started out with me. I was selling them kilos, but you know, everybody wanted to be ambitious and do their own thing because of the money. So
did that eventually cause beef between y'all though?
No, we never did. We never did with the Woods brothers. But you got to be mindful too. That's another story. Because Marjorie used to date Ronnie Woods before me. You see what I'm saying? Well, I mean, that's why
you're like, was she really a gold digger?
Well, you know, to be honest and keeping it real, Ronnie really wasn't nothing as far as in the drug game then.
Okay.
Like I said, in fact, that's how I met Ronnie. She hooked me up with Ronnie, you know,
So she hooked you up, okay, so when she was with Ronnie, met you, hooked you up with Ronnie, y'all moving kilos and stuff together. He goes off, does his own thing.
Right.
You go to jail. You save her ass. And then she goes and marries the brother?
The cousin.
The cousin.
That was Ronnie's cousin.
Damn.
Well, I'm just, listen, the untold truth. Snakes in the garden, the untold truth. I'm just setting the record straight.
We put the link below.
Yeah, well.
Damn. And she never tried to stop you from putting this out?
No. I mean, the truth be told, it is what it is. I mean, you know, but you got to understand that, man, I'm telling you, really, the drug game is so much be going on. You know, everybody just doing their thing. But I tell anybody, Marjorie would have made a good wife. Well, I don't know, I guess, because she was an excellent cook. She was, and in fact, she told me one day all she wanted to do was have our babies and have a house with a white picket fence, something simple.
Well, she got that now.
No, she got more than a picket.
She got.
But you know what? I tell
it's an iron rod fence.
Yeah.
And she's just a wife. She spends money and she cooks and she shops. That's it.
Well, you see, I'm gonna tell you something too, because Marjorie really got into that just really extravagant clothes and the finery of life. It's because with me, and it was my fault. Because I remember I connect. He was a Colombian. I mean, they killed a Colombian, but he was a Cuban. After they killed a Colombian, he became. So anyway, he was telling me. I remember Marjorie was like 18, 19. We'd go to Miami, Florida, and I tell her, I said, you know, here's 10 grand, go shopping, blah. You know, she's 18, so she goes shopping, and she come back with, I guess she spent about 3,000, you know, the simple stuff, and so I get on her. I'm gonna give you 10,000. You coming back with something, you know, with 7,000 back. That was for you to spend. That was for you, you know. And so I remember Enrique told me, the Cuban, he said, because he listened to the whole conversation, and he told me, he said, Poppy, when he pulled me aside, big mistake. I never forget. Otherwise, and he wasn't lying, because behind that, she went crazy spending money.
She went crazy.
Yeah.
Did you give her an allowance?
No, and I'm gonna tell you, and like everybody, Marjorie had access to everything I had, because I'm out in the street. I don't know if I'm gonna die that day, get killed. So she knew everything. You see what I'm saying? She was in there down with me. So we got babies. So if anything had happened to me, she wouldn't know where to go get the money or nothing like that. So no, I didn't leave her hanging like that, you know. And with all the women, here it is, you see.
Okay.
So if I got knocked off or whatever, you know, I got the money. What I need
especially with your kids.
My kids, yeah. So I told everybody I was a family man, and even before I went to prison, I was just family oriented. Really, because what I went through, I was just telling you earlier, what I went through in life. So I gyrated to that just family oriented, you see. And so I pretty much kept the family together. Because like I said, my sisters and brothers, I became their dad pretty much, you know. So yeah, I've always been family oriented, and that's what hurt me so bad. I didn't tell you the story about when I got out of prison. One thing, that's when Marjorie really crossed the gun line with me. I was finished with her.
Not the gun line. I was watching Life today, that movie Life, where Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence, and they was in prison, and when they ran away, they was like, listen, we ain't got no fences because we got something called the gun line.
The gun line, yeah. And when you cross the gun line, you know,
it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
So how did Marjorie cross the gun line?
Well, she crossed the gun line. Listen, I got out of prison in 2017.
Okay.
And
get you some more wine.
At this time, my grandbaby, Ellie, by Marjorie, by Morgan, she was just having her 4-year birthday.
Okay.
So Morgan is all happy and ecstatic because I'm out of prison now. Just got out of prison in 2017. So Ellie was turning, which is Morgan's first baby. She was turning 4. So they was having a big party and all that. And so, like I said, Morgan was really happy because I'm out of prison, because I'll be able to attend Ellie's birthday party, her 4th-year birthday party. And I was happy too. And so, so the party's being put together and all like that. So Marjorie, remember, I've never seen Marjorie yet to this day. I've been out of prison 6 years. I've never seen her this day, never heard her voice on the phone again after she did what she did. So she tells Morgan, she found out I was coming to the party. I'm just getting out of prison now. And she tell Morgan, if I come to the party, she's not coming. Yeah. So I'm saying, wait a minute. How you gonna do something like that? I'm just getting out of prison. I want to burn my grandbaby. My daughter is ecstatic. All happy because I'm gonna be able to come to the birthday party. And you gonna tell her that if I come, you're not coming? I don't give a crap about you. It's about my grandbaby.
Yeah, and you being able to be there now for moments that you missed.
Yeah, well, I done got past that. Okay, that's where you want to act. That's on you. We never fell out about nothing. See, I don't feel guilty or nothing or have any aspiration about what we went through because I never did anything. I'm telling you, the whole time I was in prison, we never had an argument to fall out. You made the decision to cut yourself off from me. See, I'm going on with my life. Just leave me alone. I'm going on my life. My whole thing is about bonding with my kids and my grandkids because I got a bunch of them, you see. So talking about Marjorie, when she did that, put my daughter where she had to make a decision between, and my daughter even told me, she said, Dad, she was distraught. She said, well, I'm gonna tell Mama you ain't coming, then you just come anyway, show up. I said, nah, Morgan, I'm not gonna do that because it's gonna bring a big rift between you and her and it's gonna be a ball of confusion. I don't need no more confusion. I had 27 years of confusion. We're not gonna do it that way. So what we did, I took Elle the day before her birthday party. We go to Chick-fil-A. To this day, she loved Chick-fil-A.
Aww.
So we go to Chick-fil-A, she played, and we just have ice cream, blah, blah, blah. So that's how I celebrated her birthday. So, but I said that to say this. When Marjorie did that, she crossed the gun line.
Do you think it was because she was trying to hide her past now that she was now officially married to Steve Harvey? And anything that she does or is connected to, I guess, could taint his brand? Or do you think that he told her, now that you my wife and I'm in the limelight, you gotta watch who you hanging around. You can't be in contact with your baby daddies from prison. Do you think that was a conversation that she just had and she had to choose, I guess, him over you and that lifestyle if she wanted that?
Well, let me ask you something, Tasha. Do you think she had to go that route? I mean, for what? I'm in the background. I'm not gonna mess with you. Do your thing. You don't know nothing. All that I know it's within me. I'm keeping it within myself. I don't care. I'm not gonna do the untold truth or the truth. Whatever lie you done told or whatever facade you portraying to the media, that's cool. Just leave me alone. Let me bond with my grandbabies and kids. That was my whole thing. So
I think, in my opinion, that maybe either Steve was kind of a little jealous of the relationship that y'all had, because you said y'all was tight for 20 years.
Yeah.
And then when he finally got her to marry him, I think he just put his foot down and was like, all right, you can't talk to no other man no more.
I believe you're right.
Because she was talking to you and telling you about him.
Yeah, I believe you're right. That's what I'm saying. So I don't know if it was from insecurity or what. Could have been, you're a multi-millionaire. I ain't nobody. You ain't got to worry about me. That's your wife.
But I think he was worried about you because you still had that relationship with her.
Yeah, that's
20
all I
years.
had.
You were a prolific figure in her life.
That's true. That's true. But man, you don't have, listen, you 100,000, 100 million, whatever it is, Rick, you don't have to worry about me. I'm not messing with you guys. I wrote y'all a letter. I wrote them a letter. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Thanking him for being a father figure to my kids and, and for, being an excellent husband to her, his wife, Mom.
And the fact that he got on TV and said that you were a deadbeat and you never...
Link, no, an interview, whoever he had that interview with. And then that interview, Link disappeared. Right behind that, yeah. Cynthia just sent it to me from Indianapolis. She sent it to, I said Cincinnati earlier, but it's Indianapolis. She sent me the link. And so I go back to share the link with somebody else. The link is gone with the interview of him saying that about, me to Jason. It was gone. So I called Cynthia. I said, Cynthia, that link that you sent me, it's gone. Go check and see if it's there. So she went and checked, it's gone. So she called the other girl that sent it to her. It's gone. So I didn't know, I'm not a tech. But
I think he had some underlying insecurity for him to call you a deadbeat and he raising your kids.
No, he didn't call me no deadbeat. He called me a punk ass.
Yeah, like as if he had words with you. So this man has never been in the same room with you.
Period. That's what he
But
told
called you a punk ass.
Yeah, that's what he told Jason.
I mean, you do look better than him.
Huh? I think so too. And you know something, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I remember when Marjorie and I was together. She used to hate. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna tell it all. I'm gonna tell it all, y'all. She said and it was fact. She used to check dudes with big lips. She was calling them soup coolers. She didn't like men with big lips. She did not.
But she did.
That's not, and she ended up with the Hollywood
biggest lips.
That's ironic, isn't it? But she sure did. She used to say that. So, but anyway, I don't know what's Marjorie's motive for what she's doing, but she's totally disrupted the relationship between, or tried to anyway. Well, she did it between her and her daughter, Morgan. Morgan is just the truth, because we done had long talks. Because Morgan initially thought that I was writing a book to throw Marjorie under the bus, and I told her, no, I would never do that, because she is the mother of my kids. But she just went crazy, and she needed to be called out for what she's done and what she's doing. And my thing is, how you gonna do your daughter and your son-in-law like that? Here you got a foundation talking about helping other kids, but you doing your kids and your grandkid like you doing them. That's unacceptable. You see what I'm saying? That's what pissed me off tremendously. And that was that was those two things that really made me come out with my book. And I'm not bitter or nothing like that, but I am disappointed in Marjorie, because you don't sell out to family. Because Steve Harvey might dump you just like he did Mary the next day. But family's gonna be there.
I mean, do you think, I mean, because, Mary has spoken a lot. Have you had a conversation with Mary Harvey?
No, I'm trying to think of her name. She was gonna hook us up, but I just...
Acid Berry.
Acid Berry.
Lord Jesus.
So I never did.
Don't even get me started with that.
Well, you know what I did? For some reason, I don't know why I didn't, but I just hadn't. Yeah.
Yeah, Acid Berry is the one that put me in contact with Mary Harvey. And,
oh, really?
I did a lot of videos, on that situation, and she's talked about how, Marjorie took her husband and didn't blink, called her house to ask for her husband when she was asleep in the bed with her husband.
No, I don't think she was lying. I think yeah. And that's another reason back then when I was going to publish the book, because what he did to Mary, and the fact that he was talking about had Jason change his name, but he didn't do it. Marjorie was behind it. Come to find out later on, as I talked to Jason, initially he lied. Man, Jason was talking every day. Jason told me how he was going to get married. He didn't even tell his mom, and how he was going to get married in this balloon and all like that. He told me. He didn't want me to tell nobody. I'm telling them now, because they've been married now. They got 5 kids. She got 4 kids and 1 on the way now.
Okay, congratulations, Jason.
Yeah, but anyway, Jason just confided in me a lot of things, and I was just the best I could from where I was in prison, trying to motivate him and encourage him. Something that I never did have through my father. And so I just did the best I could from the position I was in, right? So me and Jason was real close. Like I said, I got out of prison, got clemency. I was out of prison that Friday, and they tried to put 5 years of paper probation on me. So that means I would have to report. How you gonna do that? That's crazy.
Like,
you're gonna give me a life sentence without the possibility of parole with a 5-year probation on it. See, I had 5 years of probation on that.
Yeah.
But Obama administration took that off of me. And they tried to put it back on me, even though I had been clemency.
That means erased. You're done.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, but they had filed a 32 brief to tell them that they need to keep that 5 years of probation on me, because you know who I was, and they need to keep me monitored.
Now, rumors have swirled that it was Steve Harvey and Marjorie that pushed forward to get you clemency. Is that true?
Stop right there. That's a good point.
Oh, you heard that too?
Yeah, listen, this is what went down.
Okay.
I'm telling y'all the untold truth. Steve Harvey was in a perfect position to help me get clemency. He would have got it. Him and Obama was tight on his show, campaign for him and everything. They were tight. And ate, dinner at the White House with me and Marjorie. They was tight. And see, it ain't what you know, it's who you know. You know that. So I talked to Morgan. I said, Morgan, tell your stepdad, Steve. I said, he's in a perfect position to help me get clemency. At that time, they was giving out clemency, right? I said, your stepdad is in a perfect position with relationship he has with Obama to get me out of prison. You know, it can make it happen. I know it can make it happen because I had another friend that had the same sentence I had out of Louisville, Kentucky, Robert Anderson.
Okay.
Well, a congressman, like I said, it ain't what you know, it's who you know.
Right.
Spoke to the mayor of the city who had connection with this congressman, talked to the congressman, sure enough, made the right move. He got clemency too. So like I say, that Steve Harvey was in a perfect position to help me get clemency. I wouldn't have to go through what I went through, but God's hand was in it. You see, and that's a story in itself. So I told Morgan, I said, talk to him. She said, Dad, ain't no need of me talk. If I give him the paperwork, he gonna throw it under the carpet. Otherwise, he ain't trying to help you at all.
What?
So yeah.
But
so
but publicly they never denied. Like when you got out, it was assumed that Steve Harvey got you out.
I don't know where they got that rumor from. Steve ain't lifted up.
Because you heard that, and Marjorie got you out because of his political connection. So who ended up getting you out? Like how did it?
Or a financial lawyer. Show you how God worked.
Okay.
You know this, listen, a friend, you know, my Morgan went to her husband went to Morehouse.
Okay.
And she went to Spelman. That's how they hooked up, her and Kareem in college. Where they had this friend, Lohart was his last name. And he went to college with him. But he came out as a financial lawyer. So filing clemency, you file the paperwork, you do the paperwork for the government. But at that time, they was giving you lawyers to help you do the paperwork. They were supplying the lawyers to help you under the rule of, I forget what this rule, but anyway, it was on the government to give you a lawyer to help you do the paperwork. So at this time, they didn't notify me. I didn't know I had filed for it, but I didn't know that they had appointed me a lawyer to help me with it. So during that time, Morgan asked her friend Lodholt to help her. Jared Lodholt, that was his name. Listen people, a financial lawyer. Show you how good God is. So during that time, he said, I'll help you. I'll try to, do the necessary work. And as he was doing it, got into it, at that time, then the government he called me. Well, when I called him, he told me, he said, well, Jimmy, I can't do it because you already got a lawyer. I said, I don't have a lawyer, Lodholt. Where you get that from? He said, well, when I tried to file the papers, they were saying you already got a lawyer and I can't do it unless you tell them you don't want that lawyer, then I can do it. I said, well, yeah, I'm gonna tell them get rid of it because you're working on it, you know. But I didn't know, I'm gonna tell you this here. If I had known he was just a financial lawyer, not a criminal lawyer, I would have said, screw you, Lodholt.
But luckily you stayed with him.
Yeah, I stuck with him, you know what I'm saying? Not knowing that he was a financial lawyer. And but he worked hard for me. Okay. And God was showing me, Tasha, is that you don't need that. I got this. You don't need no criminal lawyer. You know something? I take the simple thing of the world to confound the wise. And that's what he did. A financial lawyer did my paperwork. And I'm talking about, this is a long story itself, but I could see the steps that was made that had to be made that he didn't know, the financial lawyer didn't know. But God put the right people in his life to help him do what he needed to do. And here I am.
Wow.
But God.
Wow.
Right. So yeah.
So you heard it. Steve Harvey and Marjorie had shit to do with him getting out. Because there was so rumored that they got you out. And that you guys were obviously on good terms and you had this blended relationship, like this blended family, and everybody was happy. But turns out Steve Harvey he's sending shots your way.
Steve Harvey was hating on me big time. See, but like I say that, and like I tell everybody, you draw your own conclusion. I'm telling you, I was with this woman, I'm friends for 20-some years, and all up to for her first husband, her second husband, which was done here.
And y'all was cool. Now you ain't have to.
Nothing. I could call anytime, day or night. And she'd talk to me right in front of him and all like that, but he was cool. Because he knew we were just friends with 2 kids. And he had a kid with him. So, so anyway, he wasn't tripping. Because there was nothing to trip about, I was just a man that had been dealt a hand that I had to deal with, a life sentence for a nonviolent crime, you know. So it was crazy. And I know it was crazy down there too.
Now this is gonna be a real messy question I'm about to ask you.
Actually.
Now Mary Harvey is a very beautiful woman, very richly chocolate woman, and
I like chocolate women.
That relationship. Well, thank you. I'm chocolate myself. Well, thank you.
Yeah, you are. You got a husband.
I know. He like chocolate women. So, but you know, she said that relationship between her and Steve really broke her down. It took her self-esteem. It took her dignity. They took her son. You know, Mary talked a lot about this in detail. They took the money. Yeah. She helped Steve to, you know, get to where he was, and then everything was stripped from her. The son, the rights. She has nothing. He put her in jail. Yeah. You know, she went through a lot, and then, you know, Marjorie came in the picture and was calling, like, from her perspective, from what she told, took her husband, plotted to take her husband because she knew the path that he was on. But Mary said, we were homeless together, me and Steve. Yeah. We slept in cars together. We drove from city to city doing comedy show after comedy show. And then he meets her, and then she just sucks in and just takes him from me. And then with that, I lose my son, I lose the money, I lose my house, I go to jail, I can't be around my son, I can't, you know, all of this has been happening to her, and she has felt like she hasn't had a voice. And here's Marjorie up on this pedestal and being praised and credited for everything that she built. First of all, do you feel like Marjorie was probably in the world's perspective? Because I did a video on this, you know, how light-skinned women of lighter complexion are more favored in the world over chocolate women. Do you feel like that had a lot to do with, you know, a lot of the criticism that Marjorie gave? And two, do you feel like that in Steve's perspective, that Marjorie was probably the best thing for him image-wise?
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree she was, and you know, chocolate, light skin, you know, because I was caught up in that. And if you go back and look over my history dealing with women, most of my women that I dealt with, they was called high yellow, you know that. Mm-hmm. But in between, I mean, it seemed I came up with that high yellow, but man, I like the chocolate women too.
That's an old school word. They say high yellow.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, high yellow, you know what I'm saying?
Yellow bones or,
red bone.
Red bone, yeah.
Yeah, red bone. So, and I think what happened with Steve and Marjorie, I think he did see her as the best image for what he was trying to do, you see. And so, but who knows his mindset, you know, but, cause like I said, she ain't just that bright now, but she's shrewd.
But she ain't the brightest person in the room.
No, but she's shrewd. I got to give her that.
Okay.
And so. And
she was excellent at taking husbands.
Yeah, the record speaks for itself. The record speaks for itself. Because I heard, I don't know how true it is, but I mean, she was, I mean, they were married and she knew that he was married.
Yeah, so Mary talked about it. So this is Mary telling her story.
I listened.
Yeah, she said that lady would call her house asking for her husband, put him on the phone. Yeah. I said, that's bold right there.
Yeah. So yeah, Marjorie, I guess she did what she felt as though she had to do. And I think she sold her soul to the devil. When it comes to really dealing with me from the perspective that you can't be in the game, you have to stay true to the game. And as I write and tell about being true to the game, and because a lot of people that I encountered coming up through the game, they weren't true to the game, they paid a price, you see. Mm-hmm. But I can keep it real sleek good because I kept it real. You see, even with the congressman, a lot of people don't know I got the life sentence because I wouldn't roll over on Congressman Halford.
That's who they wanted.
That's who they wanted. You know, they had locked up, people don't understand, they had locked up the Butcher brothers, C.H. Butcher and Jake Butcher. They was running the big, I'm talking about, we ain't talking about nothing petty. They was running the banking business in the state of Tennessee. You Google it, C.H. Butcher and Jake Butcher. Well, Harvey was hooked up with them. You see what I'm saying?
And he was
so they got them, they got indicted. The Butcher boy, 2 white boys, they done put in prison. Now here this Negro, you know they wanted him desperately, they did. And when, like I was saying earlier, when they found those tapes that I was hooked up with Harvey, they gave me a life sentence.
Because you would not
testify. I wouldn't roll over on him.
You a real one, because these cats out here, they think they want to be gangsters and stuff. And they want to be in this gang, and they crying on the stand.
Yeah.
I saw a video the other day from a YSL member. He asked the feds, what do you need? I could give you anything that you need. They didn't even ask him for nothing.
Yeah.
He just started talking.
Why do the time when you can drop a dime?
Right. The fans couldn't believe it. They was like, so you just gonna tell us everything? I'm gonna tell you everything. I can even tell you when a murder gonna go down tonight.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, why even be in this lifestyle?
Yeah.
And then you get out and people know how you got out.
Yeah.
And then you say you didn't snitch, only for the feds to drop the video to say you snitched. They weren't protecting you.
No.
Because the feds don't respect that.
Tasha, about me being in prison, I've seen cases where dudes roll over on their mamas.
Damn.
Their sisters. I'm serious. You see what I'm saying? So I've seen that. So nothing surprised me when a person that really don't want to go to prison, you know, they want to do the crime, but they don't want to do the time.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So,
that's why I ain't never dated. I think I dated one little petty drug dealer.
yeah.
And when he called me collect, I ain't take no more calls. I was like, this ain't the lifestyle for me.
Well, you had a little sense.
I just didn't want to get caught up in that, because the next thing he would have been asking me to do stuff for him.
Yeah.
And I was just like, jail ain't for me.
Well, you know, I didn't have to ask Marjorie to do nothing for me.
She just did it.
She wanted to. I didn't say, you know, because my first wife, you know, got hooked up with it. She got hooked on drugs. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow.
Yeah, and so behind that, I learned. So my second, well, she was my common law wife. You know, we shacked. And so I wouldn't let her see nothing I do. I didn't want her to fool with nothing, but some kind of way she ended. I forgot exactly how she got into it, but she ended up, you know, making runs and doing all that crazy stuff.
So Marjorie never used? She never took a bump?
That's one thing about it. She never, and both of my first wife and my common law wife, they got hooked on cocaine.
Damn.
Yeah, and I can say especially, I didn't want. They did it behind my back, because there's a big thing going on with the cocaine. And everybody was talking about this euphoria high, and, you know, and all that. So everybody was just curious.
Okay.
And so, like I was saying earlier, when I got into the game, when I came to Memphis from Chicago, and, you know, about the cocaine game here, most everybody was doing heroin. They were heroin addicts. So, yeah. You know something I want to tell you about the story about Jason's name change.
Okay, about your son.
That's a story in itself, because
he got Steve last name.
Yeah.
What happened with that?
Well, this is what happened. Because one day I get my counselor comes to me, and he tells me, he said, hey, put on your browns. You know, anytime we had to go up front, we had to put on our brown uniforms. You know, another time we got on, you know, jogging suits or whatever. So he said, put on your browns. I got to take you up to the gate, because it's a sheriff up there. I want to serve you some papers. So when he said that, my heart sunk, because I know it was nothing else they could do to me as far as drugs were concerned. It was a done deal. All that had been to court and all like that, and I was doing my time for that. So the only thing that they could have been getting me for, or bringing to my attention, serving me some papers, was a murder. There's no statute of limitation on murder, you know. So I knew, being in prison all them years, I knew I've seen dudes make moves. I know where a body, I know blah, blah, blah killed, and I know where he did the body. I don't like to get out of prison. So I'm saying in my mind, when he comes to me, to my service and papers, man, somebody done implicated me in a murder or something. You know what I'm saying? I know how these jokers be trying to get out of prison. They'll say anything, lie, whatever. So now when he tells me that, man, it looks like it took me 5 hours to put on my browns, a pair of pants and shit, you know.
What new charges you about to face?
Yeah, no, not new charges, murder charge. That's the only thing they could been bringing to me.
Yeah.
Or I knew something about a murder, you see. So, but anyway, so he walks me up. This is in the month, never forget it, the month of July. So he's walking me up to the gate to get the papers to be served. So now I'm sweating like, you know, like a water faucet is. You know, I'm telling you. My heart is in my stomach, cement. You know, I'm telling you, my mind is just swirling. So I remember my counselor, you all right, man? Hell no, I ain't all right, man, because these, you know, my mind, they getting ready to, you know, put something on me that's not true. Anyway, we get to the sheriff, And the sheriff asked me my name and give me my ID number. My ID number is 13003076.
Damn, you still remember it.
And so he's got papers for you, sign here, blah, blah, blah. And when I get to sign, I'm shaking like I got to hold this hand to sign my name. I'm shaking so bad because I knew I'm getting ready to get railroaded again like I did initially. So, but anyway, he served me the paper. So I'm tearing the envelope over to see what's in it, man. I'm shaking. And I almost gave it to my counsel, said, you open it, man. I can't even, I'm shaking so bad and sweating. Anyway, I opened it. And it's a letter from a lawyer in Miami telling me that Jason want to have his name changed to Harvey. Now get this. Me and Jason, we talking almost at least twice or 2-3 times a month. All the time I was in prison, we talking, you know what I'm saying? With that father and son bond and within prison. So he never told me nothing that he had a thought about having his name changed. And so I'm saying, what the heck is all this is about? And then I said, well, Jason was 17 then, and by I think it was about 7 or 8 months.
He was gonna be 18.
He was gonna be 18, he wouldn't need me
What was the point, yeah?
You tell me. Because when I called Jason that evening, I said, Jason, what's up with this, man? You want me to sign my parental rights over as a father so you can have your name changed. Well, Jason, don't put me in that predicament. 7 or 8 months, you're gonna be 18. You can change it. You don't need my consent. Well, Dad, ain't nothing gonna change us as far as our blood. I must be nervous or something.
You good? No.
He was saying that nothing can change blood. I'm always, I'm always be blood. We'll always be blood. I was just, since Steve was in prison, and he acting as a father figure, and I just wanted his last name. Well, see, that didn't sound right for coming from Jason, a 17-year-old that I talked to at least 3 times a month.
He probably felt like, because he was financially supporting your children, that he should have the right, like, to have that, these kids need his last name. He strikes me as the type that need that to feel like a man. So I guess that's why, where the punk ass came from. Because, like, why would he call you a punk ass?
I don't know, but I know he rubbed me the wrong way with that. But I don't know. I hear what you're saying, Tasha, but I'm thinking that it wasn't Steve. I got to be honest with you. And I knew it wasn't Steve because later on I found out. So I'm asking Jason, why would you want, I said, Jason, you're the only one that's really my only legal child that I've had, in marriage. He was. And I said, I was looking forward to you carrying on the Townsend name because your uncles and me and your uncles and all like that, we kind of beat the last name up. So I was looking for you to really do the Townsend name some justice, as from a positive perspective. And so he gave me this spiel about, ain't nothing personal, Dad, I love you, blah, blah, blah. And he did. Jason really loved me. You know what I'm saying? And I think he still does. His mother just became a wedge between
How long were y'all married?
We was married, because we was together 6 years. I think 3 of the years we was married. And I didn't really want to be married.
You didn't? Did y'all have a big wedding or just went to the courthouse?
No, that's what I'm telling you. I told I was trying to be straight up and honest. Because I had so much hurt and pain and stuff, issues I was dealing with then. That's what I told you. That's why I would tell people, read the book and see what was done to me and what I went through.
We putting the book link down. We're gonna read it.
See, that really formed my character. You see, I came from a dysfunctional family. You see, and I was telling you about my father.
And you didn't want to repeat that, so.
Well, I didn't want to, but yet and still I didn't have the power or to know how not to repeat that from, beating up on women and all like that, no. Being abusive to my kids, no. But still, it was a hurt and a pain. I told you that I put a Band-Aid on that hurt that was within me because I didn't have anybody to talk to tell them how I was feeling inside. So I put a Band-Aid on it and went through life with a fake smile, smiling faces, still alive. So that's why I live life.
So the book it allowed you a space to freely just kind of get all that
just
out.
Let it all out, man. Just it.
Snakes
just
in the garden.
What they said.
So is this going to be a 3-part series?
It is.
So 3 books.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Snakes in the Garden, we're gonna link it below. I know you got pre-sales going on.
Yeah, pre-sales going on.
And so we're definitely gonna link the link below so that they can go get their name on the list, order their copy. So when you do get ready to release, they got first dibs.
Yeah,
you know this book gonna be all over the internet.
Yeah. And you know, sales are really going really good. It's really,
it's gonna be all over the internet. But anything else you wanna add? Because I know you're trying to watch the fight.
Yeah, you know, basically that's it. And it's that it. And I want people to already know, really know that, you know, I love Marjorie to death as a friend, in spite of, I truly believe she sold her soul to the devil because of what she's doing to the family as a whole. And it's not good. And I'm telling you, I'm praying for her. I really am, that she would change and see, and hopefully she would see this.
She will.
See that it ain't about.
Marjorie is very familiar with my platform.
Is she?
Oh my God.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully she'll see that.
History.
Well, hopefully she'll see that and really examine what, you know, and say, hey, it ain't worth it. That joker might leave you tomorrow. But family, kids, no, you can't do it. You just can't, man.
Yeah.
So that's what.
Well, I'm glad you were able to come on and kind of share your perspective and what you know, based off of your dealings, with everybody in this situation. Okay, and this is your story to tell. No one has the right to tell you what you can and can't, put out there. And so, at the end of the day, it's your legacy, and your children deserve to know the truth. The world deserves to know the truth, and I just want to thank you for just. Trusting my platform and my viewers to bring forth, a part of the truth. The books is really gonna go into depth, like on a lot of questions, that either went unanswered or a lot of, things that we just didn't get to really unwind during our first conversation. But I'm gonna need that paperwork.
Yeah, I'm gonna show it to you.
Yeah, I need that paperwork because that's gonna.
Well, I ain't gonna do nothing that that I'm saying gonna commit slander.
No, you good.
So I'm just telling the truth, and I can back up all.
No, I appreciate you.
That's what I'm saying. Stuff that I don't know, the speculation, then I don't like to speak on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's really it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy L. Townsend.
I like the way you say that. I
say good now. Look, Snakes in the Garden. That's a 3-book series. We are going to put
Snakes in the Garden, the untold story.
The untold story. We are going to put the link below in the description box. We are going to share your Instagram page. So when you do look at your Instagram or your Facebook or wherever you want people to follow you, just check those direct messages, because a lot of the viewers that will be purchasing the book, I'm sure they'll have questions and stuff about that, or just questions in general, and hopefully, this will put an end to a lot of the rumors, that were out there surrounding you and, your relationship with the Harveys. Yeah. So, thank you.
No, thank you.
This has been like 3 years in the works. I've been trying to get this interview.
Yeah, I know.
Look at God.
But
we got it.
I was running because I was really just, like I said, it was all about family. I just wanted to bond.
I understand. And that's a lot. You're getting out of prison. You don't know who to trust, what's going on, this media thing, and it takes time to settle back into life and stuff, and to be on big platforms, and you haven't worked out the issues, with your family, because they go through a lot too when you're in prison.
They do time with you.
And a lot of people don't understand that. So I get why you didn't jump on it. But I'm glad that I planted the seed and you doubled back. And we're able to make this happen in a very elegant, professional way.
Right.
So, and that's what it boils down to. Right. So thank you. Cheers.
No, thank you.
Cheers.
Salud.
Salud. Salud. And you look at that camera and say, now we gotta go, and just say bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, so real quick, I'm gonna do a little pre-introduction.
No, because I'm gonna use the bathroom. Why you got to come out?
Wait, the microphone. Clip it to your side. Make sure you don't turn it off.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, we good.